Okay, good evening. Let's call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. May we have roll call, please?
Chair Garcia,
Here.
Vice Chair Urquidez,
Here.
Commissioner Zavala,
Here.
Commissioner Gallardo,
Here.
Commissioner Mendoza.
Here.
Thank you for that. If everybody could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Mendoza.
Salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you for that. And welcome to the City of Greenfield Planning Commission meeting. Always forget to do that. So we are on D, agenda review. Any changes to the agenda? All right. Now we can go to public comments from the audience regarding items not on the agenda. Do we have any public comments, any emails, any? See those? Nobody. No public comment?
No public comments.
Thank you. We'll close that. Move on to consent agenda. We have one item, adoption of the September 16, 2025 Planning Commission special meeting minutes.
I move to approve the minutes for the September 16, 2025 Planning Commission meeting.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second?
I second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. We'll move to business items. We have one item. It is the Greenfield Recreation Center and Park. Presentation. Doesn't seem like it.
I don't think it's on.
There we go. Well, good evening, everyone. Commission, thank you for having us or having myself here this evening to kind of give you guys an update where we're at for the Recreation Center. I'm going to share my screen so you can see. There's quite a few slides. So if you guys want to interject, if you guys have any comments or questions, I mean, feel free to ask them through the presentation. That's kind of start. To give you guys an update on where we're at on the overall timeline of the project. Back last year, late last year, we started an involvement to start the schematic design on the project. Right before that, the city was awarded an $8.5 million grant, which I'm sure you guys are all aware. So then we were tasked to start a schematic design. We did a community engagement meeting earlier this year to present that design to the community, see if what their thoughts and concerns were. And now we're kind of progressing into kind of a permit submittal at the end of this year. And the reason why we are kind of being a little aggressive on that submittal is we are applying for another grant. So that grant it's a very competitive grant. It's with the state parks, but it's an actual federal grant. And we're actually looking pretty good on that. And I'll give you guys an update. But part of scoring higher is that the project is close to shovel ready. So we have been working really hard to get the plans and engineering in a shape to meet that qualification. Just met with our state parks representative at 1 p.m. today at the site, and we are looking very competitive of getting awarded that grant. It's still not 100%, but we're definitely, or the city of Greenfield is looking very competitive towards that $6 million grant. We will know where we stand in January if that gets awarded or not. But the good news is it's the chances are there. We're in the running of getting that competitive grant.
With how many other cities?
What's that?
How many other cities are competing? for the
There
grant?
were over 100 applications in the state of California. And there's about 30 million allocated to the state of California through this federal grant. And Greenfield scored pretty high. So that's why Parks representative came today to learn more about the community. So we're
And
pretty
the
excited.
grants, I'm sorry, and the grants are all specifically for parks, is that correct?
The grant is specifically for the park.
No, I'm not talking about this individual grants, but you said that there's other grants available. Did you not just say that?
Yeah, there's other grants.
Okay, so are those other grants also specifically for parks or for other?
There's others through other agencies, not just parks. Yeah.
Okay,
And
but the one you're making reference to is specifically designated for parks, correct?
And we are actively looking at other opportunities. We're not just putting our eggs in this basket. You know, the city has a really strong grant writing team, and they are pursuing or looking at compatibility, you know, if our project would meet and be very competitive. But this one, we are hopeful.
What does LWCF stand for?
I know it's the water. I don't know the 100% of the acronym, but it's a water conservation. So the WC, I know.
Did they want to throw in a wastewater treatment plant?
It's what?
Yeah, you'll only need another.
It is a
source.
water conservation grant, so,
Now, where's this, excuse me, where's this park gonna be at? Is it gonna be at Patriot Park?
No, it's-
it's gonna be on 12th and Apple, and I'll kind of share the site plan with you guys.
Okay.
It's a new school.
It's
Yeah.
adjacent.
Oh, okay.
It's adjacent to.
I have a lot of slides, so yeah, but I like the dialogue, so please ask questions as I go. So some of the design inspiration that we drew is, you know, the city of Greenfield's really rich in its cultural heritage. So we really wanted to understand that and draw inspiration from it. You guys are also very rich in the agriculture. So we were looking at kind of inspiration from there. And you have a breathtaking backdrop. You know, we do projects kind of all over the state of California. I would say this backdrop is breathtaking with the mountain range. So we're drawing inspiration from the landscape, from the cultural, and we're also looking at your guys' needs. So the needs in this community, you know, it's underserved, right? Where this community center could maybe feel a major gap that's missing in this community. So we want to make sure that this recreation center can be multi-purpose to serve a variety of needs for the community and kind of help fill some of those gaps. Some of the design priorities that we looked at was a universal park design. So having a park that can apply to a variety of people's abilities. So really implementing universal design strategies throughout, not just through the pathways, but even the play structures. We're looking at universal design strategies. This actually will be the first playground that will meet some of the universal design criterias. Safety, security, also very important. We want the center to be kind of utilized throughout kind of all seasons and even at night. social well-being. We want to create areas for people to mingle and just really create this community center or recreation center where it becomes kind of a centralized hub. We do want to implement public art, so we'll kind of we'll dive into that. You can see here is, we want this recreation park to be multifunctional. So, a grass area can be yoga, it has multiple programs tied to it.
Have you, is it all right to question him before he's breaking the presentation?
Is
Is
it-
it all right with you?
What's that?
Is it all right to question you while you're making the presentation? and you
Yeah,
want us to-
yeah, I
Okay.
love that. Yeah,
Okay, great.
yeah, feel free.
Have you reached out to the community to see what the community might want included in the park?
We have. So when the city was going after the $8.5 million grant, prior to us getting involved, the city went through, and Jesus would be here. He is under the weather this evening. But the city did go through a community outreach
Mhm.
during that grant process and really kind of engaged what type of amenities that the recreation center should offer. Those amenities got kind of solidified in a requirement. So we have to meet all of those key amenities to be awarded that 8.5 million. We did another community outreach meeting earlier this year to kind of showcase those amenities, how we're designing them, how the overall master plan looks. I will say some of the feedback we got was they wanted an aquatic center, but that wasn't in the requirements of the $8.5 million grant, but we are master planning an aquatic center on the site. And with this additional grant that we're looking at, we did implement, and based off the feedback we received from the community earlier this year, we are implementing a splash pad for the community just to provide that benefit in this phase one.
Oh, well, the park that you're making reference to, is it gonna take up all the land space that's there now? I mean, that's quite a bit. I mean, it goes from 12th all the way to the school. And then from, almost like halfway across from Apple to Walnut. So is that gonna encompass all that? Or is
That
that
whole
some of it gonna
land?
be left over?
Yeah, it encompasses that whole empty parcel. Yeah, it's a big piece of land.
It's a big parcel there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really big.
Yeah.
Now, excuse me, I have a question. Now, the soccer field you're gonna put in, is it gonna be for the youth? You know, the younger kids to have, because I noticed that my grandson plays youth soccer in San Jose. And they got one heck of a park for youth soccer there. You know, different ages, but different brackets and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So is that what it's gonna be, or is it gonna be for anyone to play soccer in it?
It is, yeah. It will have a multi-purpose field for competitive soccer. And it also is going to have, and we'll dive into it after school programs. So when the kids and the adjacency of that elementary school, right, adjacent to it, kids coming after school at this recreation center, there'll be programs for them to hang out. So some of the outdoor inspiration that we're looking at is we don't want the play or this outdoor, recreation to kind of look at, like the plastic play structures you see all over. We want that the natural landscape to kind of blend in with play, and kind of make it more of a natural expression. So maybe there's a few little logs, but the kids can kind of play on, make the play blending in kind of more with the natural landscape. We still will have fun color throughout the design, but we also want to kind of blend in and make this kind of a nice overall environment of play throughout. You can kind of see in the playground structures, there's a wide range of design concepts. It doesn't need to be that bright plastic slide and, you know, playground like use. It could actually have some really cool integration to the landscape. The,
I attended your community meeting at the school earlier this year, and I'm happy to see that you are, I think as a result of that, including a water component, because that was one of my issues, because it does get hot here. And another concern that was voiced was the all-inclusivity
Yeah.
park features. Could you go back to that previous slide? Are any of those components inclusive? You said a term at the beginning of your presentation, and they might have changed the terminology, but it's for, you know, kids with disabilities and
yes. Yeah, the landscape team is implementing universal design throughout
universal
these.
design
Yeah,
is what we
yeah,
call it now.
yeah.
Okay.
So they will be, and there's actually guidelines that they are following to
Okay,
make sure
perfect.
that it will meet all those standards. So yeah, these images probably may not meet those standards. But we are taking some of the language and the feel, but implementing those.
I think that'll strengthen your grant, because I think that was that made a huge difference in Soledad obtaining their grant. Their entire park is
Yeah.
universal.
Some of the plant palette that we're looking at is a lot of native landscaping. We really want the landscaping to be kind of an education tool. So as you kind of walk through the center, you can learn about the plants and the variety of the plants and how they create habitat. So it becomes kind of an education tool, and we want it to all be native. A lot of it's going to be drought tolerant, so it's going to reduce the amount of maintenance, and you know, the soil conditions here, you know, are a lot different. And we have a really good landscape team that actually did the landscaping, some projects in the city of Greenfield. So they're very aware of some of the challenges here, but they really want to just embrace some of that natural landscaping. And I'll kind of go into more detail of that with the master plan. So this is the overall site plan. As you can see, it's a big piece of land. We are breaking up the parking lot into two. The reason why we're kind of pulling it apart and not creating a continuous connection is we really want to engage Apple and 12. So we want that to feel like a park. We don't want a parking lot in front of the recreation center. So we kind of push the parking lot away and really engage the community center with the multi-purpose field, the multi-purpose plaza, and then also really engage that community center to the natural landscape, which then engages the main public way. So we are meeting the parking requirements, both on these two parking lots, and counting some of the off-street parking along the perimeter. We do kind of meet the parking requirements that are spelled out in the grant, and kind of meet the parking through these ordinance. So I'll kind of go into a little closer detail here. So one kind of feature that we're looking, or a major design move, is the parking lot kind of faces a multi-purpose plaza. So this multi-purpose plaza can be a place where you could have different vendors come out, and you can put on a street fair, you can put on a farmer's market. It kind of has multi-use, multi-function of this central plaza. We're also looking at, you can see it in this upper right-hand corner, food trucks to kind of just drive on in and supply food for a particular event or a recreational game. So it's designed where they could just roll up on this platform and serve the community. Adjacent to the multi-purpose plaza is a very generous size playground area, which will implement universal design standards. And And these are not the final colors. The landscape designer has their own concept in here, but. Oop. And then the splash pad is also adjacent to the multi-purpose plaza and the play structure. And if I go back, this is the area of the future aquatic center would be to the north. So you would have the splash pad kind of adjacent and in proximity to the future aquatic. And then you have the community center right adjacent to the multi-purpose, and also engaging the multi-purpose field. This is the landscape design currently. And one thing that I really enjoy about this project is we're designing kind of an arroyo. It's gonna have kind of a submerged dry creek. And that dry creek is actually gonna be functional for water treatment. It's gonna take you know, some of the runoff of the parking lots and the surrounding landscapes kind of go into this arroyo and actually filter and go into the water table. So we think that's going to be a really cool feature. It is, again, you know, facing that public way. So it's going to be really prominent in the design. And we are also looking at rainwater harvesting. So the rainwater harvesting of the community center, all of that rainwater is going to get captured, and it will supply irrigation to all of this plantings. So we're pretty excited about that. And then you can kind of see some of the design being implemented on the play structure. Again, there's some nice organic curves, a lot of variety. And then this is the future splash pad area, and some places to see seating areas. And we are trying to put in, you know, trees where we can. We do have to be sensitive to the amount of trees because of the conditions of the wind, and just, you know, making sure that those trees can thrive. It does require some irrigation, which requires some expense. So we're really just kind of honing in a lot on around some of the more important spaces like the plaza, the arroyo, around the buildings, and then kind of leaving some of the landscape kind of more sparse as it feathers out.
So, oops, could you go back that? Yeah, at the very top, are those trees that are supposed to be there?
These trees right here?
No,
Oh.
they're right there, yeah.
Yeah, these
at
are
the
all
top.
trees.
Are those trees there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the best placement for them, because the wind predominantly comes out of the northwest, so,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Another very important feature that we're implementing on the design is security. We really want the center to be utilized and feel safe for the community at night. So we're adding pathway lighting, and then lighting, well lit perimeter lighting around the building. This project will be LEED certified, so we're actually going through the extra effort of hiring a lead consultant and a lead commissioning consultant to make sure that the LEED standards get implemented in the design and also during construction. So we're going that extra effort to implement sustainable design strategies. And some of the features that we're doing is we're creating daylighting into the spaces. We're using recyclable steel. So a lot of the building content is a recyclable material. We're utilizing drought tolerant landscaping. We're doing rain water harvesting, as mentioned, permeable paving, and solar. Some cost saving measures that we're implementing for the project. A big one is pre-manufactured metal buildings. That we have an extensive amount of experience working with prefab metal buildings, and they kind of have a bad rap. You know, a lot of people think that they just look like a shop, but they are actually pretty versatile. and you can make them look really cool with just implementing some tweaks to that building system. But the great thing about pre-manufactured metal buildings is the cost savings. So a huge component is a lot of the building gets engineered and fabricated offsite. And so they can work in controlled conditions. And also it's non-prevailing wage. So it's definitely a great cost saving measures to implement on a project like this. So we are making sure that the recreation building is in line with that building system. As you can see, this is kind of an isometric of just the skeleton of the building. So very simple in form. But again, as you'll see in the design concepts, you can still make it look like a nice, attractive building. Some of the exterior precedents that we're looking at is we really want to make sure that this building is low maintenance. So not trying to do a lot of wood or exterior wood that's just gonna rot and having to be kind of continually maintained with some sealing and it just kind of looking old. So we are utilizing steel materials for the facade. But as you can see, some of the steel, it doesn't have to be, plain corrugated. You could play with the rhythm of it and make it feel more playful. Another thing that we're looking at, it was kind of an important design feature was the overhangs. We were out at the site at 1 o'clock. It's in November and it was hot. It's kind of an unusual kind of season right now, but we understand during the summertime it gets hot in Greenfield. So having some nice, generous overhangs to protect people from the sun was pretty important design feature. And also it can also be a protection of all the rain. So if the rain is occurring, that people still have a place to kind of be outside and be protected by the elements. We don't want this to just be all steel, we want some warmth to it. So you'll kind of see some of the material palettes that we're implementing, but we are looking at and kind of being inspired by the landscape. So there is a material called rammed earth. It's a beautiful product. It kind of has a nice kind of orange reddish tone to it. And it's a very interesting process to create it, but it is almost like concrete when it's done through the process. It's not something that people can brush off, and it's a pretty sturdy and durable product. So this is the exterior design concept that we currently have for the recreation center. As you can see, this orange kind of tone is the rammed earth. So it really creates a nice, warm and inviting presence. This is facing the multi-purpose plaza. It acts as the front door to the recreation center. You can also see pretty generous overhangs that are cantilevering. We're kind of pushing the limits of the building system, but it does work out. So we have some nice generous overhangs throughout. And yes, this is the elevation of the plaza. This is kind of an aerial shot, just looking up from the plaza. And this is a corner shot, kind of looking more towards that food truck drop-off area. One thing that we would like to invite the community to participate is we are implementing a piece of art. Don't know if it's a sign called, titled Greenfield or something else, but we do think that public art is pretty important. It's an expression of the community. So we want some sort of presence in that main multi-purpose plaza. And so currently we have a placeholder of the name Greenfield. It can be a great photo opportunity and kind of an expression of community pride. So it's an interesting concept. Each letter could be, given to a particular group or individual to kind of develop their own, concept, and it would be a tiled mosaic.
Can I ask you about the trees that are behind that Greenfield sign? Are those just are those actually the trees that you're gonna put there? The reason I ask is I'm thinking ahead at Christmas time, and that if we could throw in a few Christmas trees around there that could be lit up,
Yeah,
pine trees or whatever.
yeah, it's good. Oop. This is an aerial shot, kind of highlighting the multi-purpose field and then the rec center kind of in the back. You can see that there's a walking path kind of around. So this is going to be mile marker, so people can kind of create a loop and it becomes essentially a running trail for the community. This I feel like is a very important view from a planning standpoint, because this is the presence that, the community sees for the first time of the center or from a day-to-day basis. So we really want to emphasize that the landscaping, that this center is kind of nested in a park, and not seeing a bunch of, cars in front of it. So this will get even more enhanced when the arroyo gets articulated. It's kind of not as well articulated in this rendering, but you can imagine the nice arroyo highlighting in the corner here, and then the building kind of further in the back.
So the main building that you're making reference to, is that gonna be replicated from another building elsewhere? Or is that something that's gonna be unique to Greenfield?
The what? The letters?
No, the main building.
The main building.
The main building?
Yeah.
No, this is unique to Greenfield.
So you're not like taking off some other drawings from another community?
Correct. Yeah, this fits all of your guys' programming needs, and we will all go through the floor plan.
Okay.
Yeah. This is kind of the perspective of the corner, kind of looking, we'll have a sign greeting people, pedestrians coming off of the street of the corner of Apple and 12th, with a walking path connecting to the center. We also think this center can have a really strong presence at night. So one feature that we're looking at is a corrugated perforated panel on the upper section of the rec center. And by doing that, it still allows for diffused daylight coming into the recreation center without having harsh sun coming in and distracting people playing basketball. That's going to be a problem if the sun is right in their face and they didn't make the hoop. So we are, but we still want natural daylight. We don't want it to feel claustrophobic and you're kind of in a, enclosed building without any windows. We want that natural daylight. So we came up with the concept where it becomes kind of like a natural screen. But this natural screen can have some very nice interest with it illuminating at night. You're going to see some of that transparency of the building coming through the screen and having some really interesting aspects of depth at night. It could also change colors, what we're looking at. So some of the interiors, kind of dive in quickly into the floor plan. A lot of this is meeting the community's needs from the Prop 68 process that Jesus was a part of, which identified those community needs. One of them was a multi-purpose gymnasium. So inside this gymnasium will have basketball, but it will also highlight volleyball. You'll have some pickleball court layouts that could be implemented here. So basically a wide variety of recreational uses here. It will have a bleacher aspect on one side, lots of storage for programming needs. And in this lobby space, one strategy that we looked at to kind of reduce the footprint a little bit. You know, originally the center was 23,000 square feet. We reduced it to around 19,000. And we did that to try to keep the project kind of within reason of a budget. So by reducing the footprint, but still meet the amenities that are required, it was a good strategy to just make sure that this project was able to get, off, soon for development. So in that, we have a multi-purpose lobby. So this multi-purpose lobby acts as a series of things. One, it will greet people coming in. It becomes a circulation space to a variety of programming needs. And at the same time becomes a place for people to gather, hang out, becomes a lounge. And you'll see in the renderings, has a pocket of areas for people to kind of quiet zones for them to do homework. And also we like that it has good eyesight for the receptionist to kind of keep an eye on maybe some of the kids in the after school program, making sure that they're safe.
In looking at the floor plan, I see 2 restrooms. Is that
Side.
a total of 1 toilet each restroom?
That's a
Or-
great question. So we have 2 restrooms that are accessible to the outside. So those 2 restrooms will be single use unisex restrooms, and those will be primarily for the playground. And so we wanted to place these 2 restrooms where adjacent, the playground's roughly about here, so that the parents could kind of keep an eye on the kids as they go into the restroom. It also will serve as the restrooms for the field, multi-purpose field. But these doors will be open during kind of more bigger events. And we have a large restroom area that's a family restroom, a women's restroom and locker room, and a men's restroom and locker room that will be tied mainly to the center. But if the center is closed for whatever reason, there could still be these 2 restrooms open, maybe longer periods of time during the after hours to account for those people that are still in the playground and need the restroom.
Right, I'm just concerned that that's not gonna be adequate, and I know restrooms are a touchy subject here in town, but I don't think 1 stall per restroom is enough if there's a lot of people out there. I mean,
Yeah.
at Patriot, there's 3 stalls in that restroom? In the outdoor restroom, so something to consider.
Yeah, so there's 6 stalls in the women's plus a family.
Interior, but I'm talking
Okay.
about the ones that are accessible for the folks outside.
Okay. The center will be primarily open, I
It'll
think,
be
during
open.
the bigger events. So if there was a recreation event and those 2 restrooms were utilized, people would have to come in to the reason why we don't want to create more restrooms than required is cost. It would be nice to probably add more in here. Maybe 1 more could go a long way, a total of
At
3.
least in the women's. Oh, they're unisex, sorry.
Yeah. Another element that we have is a multi-purpose room. We see a variety of programming needs in here. This could have ballet, it could be a dance hall, it can be also a birthday party. It is a rentable space for the community to utilize it as needed. We have a kitchen area. This isn't going to be a full-blown commercial kitchen. We call it a demonstration instructional area, but it will have hot plate areas, refrigerators, and will also kind of act as a concession stand. So we have an overhead door or window that kind of opens up into the multi-purpose lobby and kind of acts as that concession when a particular game's going on. An operator can come in and house food and beverage for that particular event. And then we have a weight room that will be programmed with a bunch of weights, and we have a door that could potentially be accessible during maybe different times of the recreation. So any questions on the floor plan as I get into the renderings? So some of the interior design inspiration that we're looking at, you can kind of see, these are little quiet pods, for kids to do homework. So it becomes kind of a nested space, still open to a more broader, larger space. So we kind of implemented something similar to that. You can also add, it's a way to add color and make it kind of more fun and inviting. The multi-purpose room for a variety of functions. One thing that we really liked was the connection to the outside. So the nice windows to the outside. We also liked kind of the use of color, splashes of color, but not be too overboard on the color. That way, that this center stands the test of time through different generations and doesn't get outdated. So having just splashes of color that can quickly kind of be interchanged, a light fixture getting switched out, or a piece of furniture, adding those elements as the color and keeping everything, the building elements, more neutral, will make this center feel more timeless. You can kind of see the daylighting here in the gym. And then in this inspiration here, the acoustic ceiling panels kind of are dual purpose. They obviously perform well on the acoustic side, but they are kind of essentially like a piece of art in the interior. So the material board, we really want to draw inspiration from the city of Greenfield. The school colors are green, so we really want to match some of the recreation that the school and the school spirit of green, and kind of implement some of that color palette into this recreation center, because a lot of them will be utilizing the center. We also want to kind of add some touches of yellows to warm up the space, some woods, but the woods would be a laminate or something more durable to keep the maintenance down. And then also adding some blues. Blues in spaces, if used effectively, can act as a nice calming effect to the interiors. So this is a rendering of the interior. You can kind of see that multi-purpose lobby is not just a lobby, it's a lounge, it's a hangout space. It becomes a circulation to a lot of the functions. You can see that this is the concession stand that would open up. We're adding some bookcases for books to be rotated out. This would be the entrance to the weight room. This view is the entrance to the multi-purpose space for dance or a birthday party. And then we are kind of featuring an acoustical cylinder that has kind of a variety of colors and sizes, or kind of placed in a variety of heights to give it some nice variety in the ceiling. And then we're also featuring a mural that we feel kind of resembles some of the landscape of the context, just as the backdrop of this center. And you can see some of the blues kind of calm the space. This is another view. And then this is a view of the school area, the homework area. And again, we're kind of creating pockets of variety. So this would be kind of more individual spaces here with just a computer station. So kind of essentially a computer lab. And this could be an area where two people are doing homework together. And then we do have a TV for those that want to maybe watch a movie or play video games. This is a view of the multipurpose room. And this is a view of the gymnasium. Again, you can kind of see where we're implementing some of the school spirit into the gym with the green. But we don't want too much color because we want this gymnasium to also serve for a variety of functions. This could have a fundraising event for the city of Greenfield. So we really want to implement this to be dual purpose or multi-use. And this is a view of the weight room. And that's it. I know there's a lot.
Excuse me, I have a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
Now, looking at 12th and Elm Street, I don't see any lighting on the streets.
Lighting.
Yeah, and the crosswalks and stuff.
Treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do
Because
have.
then,
street-
you know, it's easy, that 12th Avenue is a busy avenue, so I'm thinking that, I don't see any stop signs and I don't see any lighting, so I was just wondering what to come
Yeah,
with that.
we will have perimeter lighting, both kind of in an overhead lighting, so you can kind of see in these poles.
Yeah.
So that will be some lighting that will will be throughout the center. And then we also are including more of like a pole coming out of the ground. Let's see. So yeah. You can see these pole standards through here, and so those will.
Yes,
help.
yeah, I see.
But yeah, we will be implementing full pathway lighting. Any pathway will be lit.
The other question I have for you is, you don't have, room for a dog park?
Or what?
Dog park?
Oh, okay.
Because the reason why I'm saying that, I see around my neighborhood and stuff, people let their big dogs, you know, do
Mm.
their thing and don't pick it up. And I'm scared that's what's gonna happen throughout
Yeah.
the area because of the grass, and they're gonna let the dogs run around. My question is, why can't we have a dog park, you know, for both large dogs and small dogs?
Yeah.
That shouldn't take up that much room.
Yeah. You know, there could be potentially space maybe in the front here. You do have to fence it.
Right.
But the multipurpose field will get fenced because there's going to be times where nobody can be on the field to maintain, and it will have to go through some seasonal maintenance. So it will require people not on the field as it kind of heals itself. So we could maybe implement in a fencing area, an area for dogs to run.
Maybe include some dog waste stations with bags. for waste.
Oh, yeah, dog parks, they
Mhm.
usually do.
Yeah, yeah, it's really important.
Okay, so let's go on the premise that you get the grant, okay, hopefully. And we move forward,
Yeah.
okay? Now, the building moratorium, is it gonna have an impact on that? Whether you go forward with it or not? A time frame?
There is a time frame that needs to happen, yeah. The Prop 68 grants, the 8.5 million is wanting the project to break ground very soon. We can ask for an extension. We will probably have to ask for an extension if awarded the water conservation grant, because that process will take 6 to 12 months to obtain that final agreement with the state and also with the feds.
Okay, so if the building moratorium is approved, that's not gonna put a hold on anything that'll the park will still move forward, or are they gonna say, no, you can't build it until the moratorium goes away? Is that a question I should ask Mr. Mugen?
Oh,
And
we have the building moratorium, later on the agenda, but maybe we can find out there.
Yeah.
okay,
We
We'll do
are,
that.
we are actively, making sure that this project, it gets to the finish line. So we have eyes on it.
I have a few comments. Thank you for the presentation.
Yeah.
So I grew up on 12th Street, that area, so I'm very happy that this is being built there. My mom's really happy because it's gonna block the wind. I am really happy to see the gym or the weight room area. I don't know if you know this, but we don't have a gym in Greenfield, so I'm really excited for that.
Yep.
The multi-use sports field, I'm glad it's called a multi-use sports field and not a soccer field.
Yeah.
Because I know that was one of the concerns,
Yep.
that, it's the soccer field, so, also the EV charging stations, I'm glad that we're having that. How many are there again?
The EV chargers, I don't know off the top of my head, but it probably it's about 10.
I'm happy to see that. And then surveillance, is that gonna be connected to PD?
Say that again.
The surveillance, is that gonna be connected to the police station?
Yeah, we will have cameras throughout the designed around the perimeter of the building, and also maybe some cameras in the parking lots.
Oh, okay.
And then, yeah, I think just implementing good sightline standards. We want to make sure you don't want bushes, in that 4-foot range. You want like low bushes or just tall trees. So PD, if they are driving by, they can see, any activity. So
Okay.
sightlines are really important.
And also, I was here during the presentation to city council and there was a concern in regards to the name. Did that change or did it stay the same? The name of the center?
The name of
The
the
Greenfield
center,
Recreation Center. I believe there's a public comment in regards to the name.
the name of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, originally I think I had it as community center, and it is more recreation.
Okay.
So yeah, we changed it to recreation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to follow up on that because the name is on my list too. I mean, you have this spectacular park with all these modern amenities, and then the sign in front is Greenfield Rec and Community. It's kind of a downer. So I don't know, can we like maybe Arroyo it up? I don't know. It's just kind of plain.
Hmm.
I think we should give it a nice fancy name to
Yeah.
match.
We should. Yeah, and it doesn't need to be called this. We title it for
Right,
application
yeah,
and stuff like
no,
that.
it's
But
like-
yeah, I think it would be great to have something more unique. I like that.
And then, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go. So, at the community meeting, I think you talked about costs and people wanted the pool, and then you're like, it's too much. So I think at that meeting, you said that it was about 20 million, the whole
Yep.
thing. So are we still there? And if we get the 6 million plus the 8.5, we're 14.5.
Mhm.
And
So that means you're-
is it, and now it seems like, well, I don't know with these tariffs and all that, but do you think that the products costs will lower by the time you guys are ready to break down,
Yeah, I mean.
break ground?
Yeah, it has been a conversation with the city to figure out how to achieve those remaining funds. You guys are also building a water treatment
Mhm.
facility, which is a big expense, onto the city too. So it is hard to kind of navigate, all of that at once, but I know that the city is very committed to this project and wants to see it move forward. So
It's been a.
They're gonna find a way.
Long time coming in.
Yeah.
A lot of work, and Jesus has done a phenomenal job working with you as well.
and we
So-
have, as a design team, tried to implement cost saving measures where we can. It does look nice, you know, we want it to look nice. We want this to be something that the community can be very proud of for a very long time. But we are implementing some great cost saving measures on this project.
It looks pretty state of the art.
So why don't you call it Greenfield State of the Art Rec Center?
Arroyo.
What's Arroyo got to do with it?
I just say it sounds fun, and it's by the Arroyo Seco School.
Yeah, they never should have called it that either. No, what is Arroyo Seco Academy?
Anyways, off topic, go ahead, do you have any?
Just waiting. I don't know what I was gonna say, I forgot.
That's called a senior moment.
What
These two, yeah.
so what is, once you get the green light, what's the timeline on building from start to finish?
What's the question? Green light?
Once you get the green light, once you're ready to go, ready to break ground, what's from start to finish? What do you think?
Let's say hypothetically, we get this water conservation grant. It's gonna take about 6 months to probably get an agreement. They say 12, just to kind of give some buffer there. So it could be 6 to 12 months. So I'm thinking end of next year, yeah, this project could break ground, or early 2027.
And then finish, what is it?
Oh,
couple
finish.
acres?
It would be about an 18 to 24 month build. It's a big piece of property to develop. Yeah, so about
Is it
18
like
months.
8 acres or what is?
Yeah.
Pretty big. Any other questions or comments? Okay, thank you so much for that presentation. And I didn't catch your name or your company.
You know, I'm sorry I didn't. Yeah, my name is John Vieira. I am a part owner of NJA Architecture.
NJR,
NJA, yeah,
thank you so much.
yeah. And we've been just thrilled working with the community on this project. It's been a fun project.
And you guys are out of Santa Cruz?
No, we are near Sacramento,
Sacramento.
Central Valley.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to review the project.
thank you. So the agenda says open public hearing. Is this a public hearing? Public comment. So are there any public comments? I see there's a city resident online. If you'd like to participate, just raise your hand. All right, we'll close public comment. Oh, it's up, yay. Hello? Do you guys know what to do?
Recorder in there.
Oh, it went away.
You got press through.
Okay, city residents, sorry, we're having some technical difficulties, but feel free to contact the city and we'll respond to whatever concerns you may have had. So planning commission discussion and decision, we're just accepting this report? Yeah, there's no motion. Well,
Again, thank you for your presentation. Have a safe trip home.
okay, there are no public hearings. We can move on to other business. The first item is commercial project status update. There's staff reports.
Yeah. Yeah. Community center. As the commission is well aware, typically we issue our major projects report every 6 months. And so the updated report is due and will be in December. Two projects that might be of interest. Originally, and 24. Yeah. Yesterday, Jenny was at the plane and oh, they should the tenant improvements, that was it, November 8th. And November 8th, otherwise they're permitted fire. So only one thing, very close. Well, essentially, and it didn't to work with the Barons, their architect, and also needs to ensure that the time that we've all spent seeing these projects come to fruition is not wasted. So we'll report back on the result. November 18th, right around the however, we're confident. Generally, in reviewing the pitch, yes. And staff are really committed to seeing the project. I have see that the second business I wanted some coming because you can see it's widely under in a new area square center. Approximately 2,800 square feet of consists of what was it's understanding that to return to the site, so we're looking forward to the remainder square foot of the 3,000 square feet is going to be built in addition to the area for a sit-down restaurant. Consequently, so that project is well under construction. That's all. in December.
Okay, thank you so much for that report. Opening up public comment. Closing public comment, planning commission discussion. We just need to accept the report. There's no action needed. Thank you for the update. Those are two things that, the community has been asking about over and over, so now we have a little more information. So if the, it seems like it's not fair to the Barones that their permit's gonna expire on the 18th when the holdup has been outside of their control. Is there an extension available? Or is it a 1 year? And that's it?
Yes, that's extension is available.
Okay, good.
So, yeah, we won't let it fire. Yeah.
Anybody other have any comments? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the building moratorium update.
Thank you. Yep. You know, city read twice ordinance for buildings moratorium. Taken to approval by HCD. HCD has been looking at it going on 3 months now. And city leadership is scheduled to meet with HCD, I believe, next week. So there's been ongoing between or among them. Right, city. To address what, if any, issues that we shared anything with us today. Maybe areas that, yeah, it's a oops, there's a food in real time, same day. Ours is taking a couple of weeks, and I will soon find out why. I remind the planning commission staff that there are 5 exceptions to the moratorium. They are when construction moves forward. And so the safety of the public is at risk as determined by the city manager. It doesn't. The ordinance. So we have one request to the city manager. By the budget constraint, that request was denied. First, the moratorium is right now, but first there's significant risk to get started and then get caught up in it. I think
What's the cross street of Elm? Where they were proposing? Elm and what?
it's usually short for a street, it's near the cemetery, it's trying your parcel. It's an irregular sized parcel.
By Los Ositos?
Certainly staff joins the planning commission with hoping that in further ways we're gonna seems can get resolved together. That's the ultimate answer to all of it. Nobody really knows Here, please, can you? Something, such a job. Yeah. When there is no update. Red twice and just only hear from it. TV.
Thank you for that report. Are there any public comments? Yes. Okay. Okay, moving on to planning commission discussion and decision.
Well, I'd like to ask a question. Okay. Now, going on the premise that the moratorium does take effect, will it stay in effect until the sewage plant gets built, or will there be a shorter time frame?
No, it's my understanding. The city council directed that the issue return to the city council in 6-month increments. And of course, the city council can change their own decisions, but
But playing devil's advocate here, which I do a lot. Building permits are still being issued, correct?
pardon me.
I said building permits are still being issued. And they'll be continually issued until the moratorium is actually approved.
Correct.
So in that interim, I mean, there could be an abundance of permits being issued. And that, from my perspective, that would just add to the problem that we're currently having. I know like when Greenfield Commons, there's what, 100 apartments over there? Sorry?
Oh, yeah, phase one is 100,
Yeah.
but the total is 222.
And then you have these over here and there was like 200 and something over there. So when they all come online, I mean, it's gonna be like right at the top. I mean, cause we're like at what, 75, 80% right now? Is that correct? Or am I just lowballing and highballing it?
Ballpark commissioner. Change, however, you know.
Right.
Is me 1, 2, so.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm stressing here, and I'm sure you understand what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Is that when they come online, all of them, when they're all filled, it's gonna get higher. But yet the city continues to issue building permits. Which I understand legally they can't stop it until it's approved. But I mean, we're kind of like in a conundrum, right? Damn if you do and damn if you don't.
You're correct.
Okay.
We have. Any other comments? So you say HCD is coming this week or next week?
Next week.
Next week. Is there any chance of the capacity being increased? I mean, I know they arbitrarily or unilaterally reduced it by 300,000 gallons, or right? Or
Okay, well. Me say. Community development.
Okay.
Works has jurisdiction over this subject, but the answer. Likely, probably nothing, we can demonstrate. To the water board that the facilities can. moving the point is gonna be an input. It's over. So at some point, the water board is going to accommodate the additional capacity created in the facilities necessary. for the- So,
So the meeting next week, that's gonna tell us, yes, the building moratorium is in effect. Is that accurate there? The meeting you're having, what date? What do you call it?
it's been tossed around as the next meeting. So, and there has not been right now, to meet with the CB prior to their issuance of the decision. Of course, members have done this before, so I'm not exactly sure.
Well,
what this
I appreciate what the city's doing. I mean, informing the community over the weekend. I don't get my mail every day, but I did get the notice in the mail with the protest, and I also had a door hanger placed on my door explaining everything going on. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah, we're having another meeting, what is it, December 9th, I believe it is, that they're having another meeting,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I think you guys are doing a good job.
So based on the exceptions you mentioned earlier, the community center, what you call it, the Arroyo, that will move forward regardless, right? Because it falls into the exception.
said.
But
Okay, if there's nothing else, we can move on to AB 413 daylighting update.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, this is an issue that has been with the Assembly Bill 413. It's widely been publicized and also falls under the jurisdiction of the Public Works Department and the Traffic Safety Committee. However, the Planning Commission has inquired about it, so we wanted to bring to you what we know about it. And the most updated information we have is staff report, July 8th, 2024. The Traffic Safety Committee approved a list of curb intersections to be painted in red in compliance with the law. Several additional intersections were approved by the committee in October 25. Just last month. Cherry. Right. Oh, it's, what is the was referred to as the definition law. And the bill is just in specific and the step meter parking. Oh, that
For that? This is what you brought up a few times.
yeah.
I do have a question about that. I was talking,
Oh, I'm sorry.
oh, is there one?
I don't know. Public comments? Are there any public comments?
There's one on
I know, but we're having technical difficulties. There's none. Okay, closing public comment. Now we can go to.
Yes. I talked to the director today of of, what's her name? I can't remember her name.
Jamie?
Ms. Bill,
And I was talking to her today. And I keep asking her, when is it going to, especially on Reed and De Leon, that is a disaster waiting to happen. There's gonna be an accident waiting to happen. Because people are parking on the curb and you gotta swing out to get on, Reed Street to get out. And, so I brought it up to her. She says, well, right now, we got a project doing at the water plant. So I go, oh, so how long is that gonna take, you know? So it just, she keeps hemming and hawing about when that's gonna get painted. We need to get that, we need to implement that as soon as possible. Cause it's a disaster in these areas that you've got further down here. I see it every day. I see it every day where people are, you know, there's issues with that. Now, I had another issue this evening. I was crossing the street here on Cherry, and I was in the middle of the crosswalk. This car comes up. He's got his blinker to turn left. He sees me, but he doesn't give a shit. So he takes off, and he come that close and hit me. Because there's no lighting out here. We need lighting on these corners with this daylight savings. So I don't know, you know, there's a lot of projects need to be done on that because, I mean, somebody's gonna get hit sooner or later because it's dark.
Yeah.
Dark early. And we voted on that years ago and it never came to fruition. You know, we should have got that back when we voted on that. And the state of California is putting their foot on the ground, I guess, not doing nothing about it. So that's my comments on that, because there is some dangerous intersections here in this town. And they're not getting done, they're not getting done. It's been well over a year since I talked to Jamie about that, well over a year. And I keep harping on her all the time. I keep harping on the city councilwoman that in that district, same thing. Take pictures of it. I don't think I need to take pictures. I brought it up. It should be taken care of by now. That the streets that they did paint 20 feet, they don't need it, you know, they need the streets that need it. Cause they put a 20-foot barrier there by, 7th and, De Leon. I mean, not De Leon, Dart, 7th and Dart. They painted a 20-foot strip there. You can't go out that way because the fact is, it's blocked off. You can't go through the rear parking lot of the center no more. That's been blocked off for years, but they went and painted 20-foot barrier there. That's ridiculous, you know, so I don't know, I'm just been my frustrations out about this, because it's been well over a year, nothing, as far as I can see, nothing's getting done. So, and I bring it up to city council too, so I don't know, you know, it's pleasant that no one's got hurt, injured, and that right over here and read it down the else. Because it is dangerous, and people parking in the handicap part where they can't. People with the wheelchairs or something, they can't cross the street there because people are parked on the corner. And nothing's getting done. I've taken pictures of it. I also talked to the chief about it, and I had a ride along with a cop a few weeks ago. And the same thing, I showed him, nothing got done. They should have ticketed him right then and there. Because he was the one that was the traffic officer then. But nothing's getting done, so. I did my frustration, so
Is there an estimated time for these streets to get painted?
yeah. I don't know. But, yeah,
well, because they're working on the public works now out there in the water treatment plant, so who knows when they'll get in. Probably another year. Then when it does, someone's gonna get injured, the city's gonna get sued, because they know it's gonna be priority.
Well, there is a form here, attachment 3, a City of Greenfield Traffic Safety Committee request form. Maybe make a bunch of copies of these and submit it over and over and over. Don't give up.
I'm not gonna give up.
Yeah, because there's the box for other requests.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Yeah, and that starts a paper trail. So,
The only thing is, another thing is like, when they're printing out these planning commission special meeting deals, I'm not getting the update on this is for Tuesday, September 16th.
those are the minutes. You didn't get the agenda.
I didn't get the agenda.
Yeah.
so-
Okay.
Mr. Megan, who's part of this, safety committee? Is it city staff?
No. The Traffic and Safety Committee is volunteer. And I'm not sure who's on the membership, certainly the Public Works Director. Staff that work in the committee, so she would be the person that controls the agenda, the staff for their work.
Would we happen to know when they meet or who can Miss Vice Chair Ukitis contact?
No,
Um,
if you want information, no, you, for your, the membership and the agendas when they meet, so forth. I think the details are on the Public Works Department website.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions about AB 413, fair writing update? Okay, we can move on to comments from planning commission and staff. Staff, do we have any comments? Commission?
Yeah, I'll end my comments with, put a smile on people's faces here. I'll add a little bit of levity to here. So these 3 elderly brothers go see a doctor. So the doctor's gonna test how fit they are mentally. And these 3 brothers, they're in their 90s. So he asked the first brother, what's 3 times 3? And he goes, 3 times 3 is 275. And the doctor gives him this really look and he says, no. So he asks the second brother, what's 3 times 3? And he says, 3 times 3. Tuesday. Doctor says, no, that's not right. So he asks his third brother, what's 3 times 3? And he says, oh, that's easy. That's 9. The doctor says, well, how did you come up with that? He says, oh, simple. I subtracted Tuesday from 275. Okay. That's all I've got.
All righty. Same time next week. Okay. All right. If that, we will adjourn at 7:28. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Oh, put a smile on
Here,
my
I'll
face.
¿Puedo pasar esa vez?
Oh,
No, there's a oversight from safety and somehow.
Yeah. Guys, take care. Bye.